coming in bigger numbers ever since Chavez quit eating. How long can a man go without food?
It depends on the man, John. Everything depends on the man.
Why do you feel like this is a particularly good time for a film like this, for a film about Cesar Chavez?
It's, I think it's late. I think we arrived late, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad we're here. It's important today that we not just celebrate the movement of farm workers and the amazing change they brought to their communities and the work and legacy of Cesar Chavez. But also it's important to think about what needs to be done today, you know? The conditions in the fields are far from perfect, you know, and there's tons of people that need change and recognition, and a need from us consumers to be aware of what had to happen for food to get in front of us, you know. Mm-hmm. We have to be aware of what we're part of, you know, the chain we're part of, and I think this film, and by celebrating the work of this very brave community, will be drawing attention to something that matters today, and not just an immigration reform, but it can be that those who are feeding this country have to struggle so much to feed their families, you know? Mm-hmm. There should be a balance.
Mm-hmm. And what was the biggest hurdle in getting this film made for you as a director?
Almost everything. I mean, there was no moment where we were not reminded that we had a complicated project in our hands, mm-hmm. a big film, you know, and a big film that we had to do with little, you know. So we had to always be creative. We put every penny in front of the camera, you know. Mm-hmm. All the money we had was invested in what you can see. So the conditions for those working behind the camera were not perfect or ideal, you know. But we wanted the film to be made. We were not gonna give up, and today we are really happy to be able to celebrate the film exists, and it exists because of the support of so many people, you know. Yeah. It's one of those films where the beginning is so long, there's so many logos at the beginning, yeah. You know, and it's because till yesterday we were asking people for help, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
and that's how the film got made.
And it seems like when you see the film, it jumps right into it. There's no, you know, there's no like baby pictures or anything. You jump right into the story. And I'm wondering if there was any portion of Chavez's history that you were heartbroken that you couldn't include, or something that you shot that you're just like, I hate cutting this.
There was, I have to say, more than scenes with Cesar that I miss a lot the stories of those around, you know. Mm-hmm. There was much more about Jerry Cohen, there was much more about Dolores, there was much more about the family and the kids. You know, the kids are represented today by Fernando, but they had 8 kids. And
I'm sure all of them had different stories.
Yeah, and I shot everything, you know. Yeah. When we were shooting, I shot a film that, when I put it together, lasted more than 3 hours, you know. Mm-hmm. And that was everything we put there. But then obviously, yeah, you have to start prioritizing and well, I wanted to make sure we would do a film that would leave you at the end with a feeling of like, oh, I want to see more, and mm-hmm. not the feeling of like, oh, this could have taken 10, 15 minutes less and would be better, you know. I want to generate curiosity, so people go out of the cinema asking themselves, well, who else was around? I want to know more. Yeah.
And how come you didn't jump in this one as an actor?
I had I mean, we were poor, but I still had some money to pay good actors and not have to hire myself. You know? As a director, I would never hire myself. Yeah. it's, I don't know, I even though I am really close to this community, and I am really close to many that live the experience, the Latino experience in this country. I'm not one of them, you know. I was born in Mexico. My accent is ridiculously Mexican, so I wouldn't be able to play Cesar Chavez or anyone around. You know, this guy was born in the States. This is the story of a first generation. This is the story of Americans, you know, that are just not recognized and celebrated in this country. You know, a country that keeps reminding you you don't belong till this moment. I mean, it's ridiculous that this is the first film we made about Cesar Chavez. You know, something that happened so many years ago, and that is such an amazing and powerful story. It hasn't been celebrated in film, so anyway, I wanted to be as authentic as possible, and I believe by working with Michael, we brought that authenticity. Michael is a first generation, you know, his parents came from Mexico, his father is from Jalisco, and he was born in Chicago. He had to live that duality, you know. He went through that ride of going to school and being forced to just learn in English and relate to everyone in English, but then go home and everything would be in Spanish. And with this feeling of coming from a place you actually don't know, and you want for all your childhood at least, you know, because there's a fear of not being able to come back. So anyway, all of that is there, and I was lucky to get this amazing cast that understands the journey of these characters.